Welcome everyone to Comics of Horror. Scary? Not even the closest. Hey, I'm Shane Mess, creator of Cryptic Legends The Mothman from King Toad Comics. And I wanted to start this new show where I highlight indie horror comics that's coming out or came out even. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do. Because it is close that season. It's still September, yes. But I looked outside and leaves are falling. And I'm like, that's good enough for me. So I put on this cool shirt with Sam from Trick or Treat, one of my faves. I pulled out my Pennywise mug and said, I'm going to start reviewing some horror comics. So, yeah, it's basically the same show. It's just I'm highlighting horror comics and I got a different intro, okay? I might add a little bit of something here and there as I go, but at least want to just kick it off. Um, and I'm going to start with Monster MD. Von Claus. I think that's how you say his name. Uh, I actually backed this book a while ago because it's super exciting. Because I like horror stuff, so anytime I come across the horror books, uh, I try to back them. But anyways, there's a trailer. Let's watch.
Almost eaten by a werewolf, seduced by a succubus, a drug deal with a vampire, charades with the Slender Man. It's all in a night's work for Dr. Wyatt Black, also known as Monster MD. Hi, I'm Von Klaus. I recently finished work on John Malin and Mark Polton's Graveyard Shift Volume 2, and I'm here to share a comic that is going to rock the indie scene with you. Monster MD is a story about Dr. Wyatt Black, a fallen from grace surgeon who's now the underground doctor to the local monsters. Coupled with his invisible surgical assistant Heidi, he gets into hilarious and horrific misadventures in monster mending. Dr. Black wants out of the game, though. He doesn't think he has what it takes to practice cryptozoology, but when Heidi is kidnapped by his worst nightmare, the monster-killing madman that took his arm and ruined his medical career, he must depend on his paranormal patience more than he ever thought possible. Will Dr. Black be able to confront what scares him the most for the very monsters that he wants to give up on? And is Heidi hot or what under that invisibility? I've been making comics for years, guys. And it's all led up to this. My most ambitious project yet. With mind-melting art by Marco McCagney, who you may know from Zombie Tramp and Vamp Blade, colors by the incomparable Tanya Wicker, who did flawless work on The Signal, and letters by Eric the Man Weathers, letterer on Earthworm Jim. This is a high-quality indie story with heart that you do not want to miss. Not to mention, it has nearly every monster that you've ever loved from the movies. It has horror movie reference Easter eggs galore hidden throughout the book. A fully self-contained story without cliffhangers, all within 111 pages of action, comedy, horror, complex characters, and more heart than you'd expect. Even people who aren't into monsters tell me this book has everything they love in a comic. So, can I count on your help to bring this monster to life? Evil is definitely gonna need a checkup. Thanks so much for your support, guys.
All right, man. I think it looks pretty groovy. Let's go ahead and see what's on the tiers and stuff. Obviously, this book's doing well too. He's got 1,835 backers. He's at 86,271 dollars. So, good job, man. Good job. You're doing it. You're getting it done. You're doing it. We will see, Monster MD. All right. So for $50, we can get signed comic and sketchbook. I wonder how many pages the sketchbook is. Does it say the signed Monster MD 100 pages comics plus a signed limited edition Monster MD colorblind official sketchbook sent in rigid comic mailer? So if you want a sketchbook along with your comic, there you go. $50 and it can be yours. A lot of people want that apparently. 229 people said that's what I want. Clickety clicked. You can get the digital deluxe for $18. So you get high quality 100 plus page PDF release of Monster MD plus a high quality PDF Monster MD colorblind, the official sketchbook. So you can also get the sketchbook. You can get the sketchbook in the digital deluxe as well, so you don't miss out. And for those like me who's like, can I get the regular tier? Here's the regular tier, a signed comic for $25, which I think that's what I backed. Because I'm making a comic, so I don't have all the funds in the world. Or I'd be getting my right arm to somebody too. Some crazy person. Willingly though. Like, take my arm, give me some money so I can buy comic books. So yep. For $25, you get the signed comic. Choppa, go on down. Oh, I don't know if this is on here originally when I looked at the campaign. Back when I backed it. A badass t-shirt. Official t-shirt. $25. So yeah, you can get yourself a t-shirt. What else we got? Signed comic and poster. Alright. For $40. Alright. 11 by 17 fold out poster pinup of Heidi H. Hyde, the Invisible Surgical Assistant. By Miss Sashi. Signed by Heidi. Oh, sweet. So it's signed as well. That's pretty cool. So for $40, get your book. And the book's signed too, right? Yeah. Signed comic and a signed poster. That's pretty cool for $40. Alright. 2 signed comics in case you got a fellow ghoul who's like, I don't have the funds, master. Don't worry, you poor bastard. I bought 2. I don't know. I think that was maybe a Dracula. I want to buy a 2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my stupidity. A long weekend. A lot of stuff came up. But I'm making my videos. Making the videos. Comic sketchbook and poster for $65. I'm sure that's probably signed. Signed comic, signed sketchbook. And Heidi, it doesn't say the Heidi poster is signed. Let's see. Search. Well, it says signed by Heidi, so it says it in the description. So I assume it will come, even though it doesn't say it here. It does say it up here. So I assume it's signed. Everything's signed, which is cool. 95 full dose. That looks like it's pretty much everything. Everything that you've seen so far. 95. 10 books. Obviously for retailers. Or maybe for Halloween, for trick-or-treat. Hopefully we have a trick-or-treat. You just, even from the door, you just throw the comics out at people. That'd be cool. 10 lucky little rascals get comics. I don't know. Is this all? I don't know if this is kid friendly. I don't know. The 8-year-old like, oh, his arm got ripped off. What am I kidding? At 10 or so, you're like, it's cute. You just don't show your parents. You just stick that one away. All right. Overdose. Your name in the book for $250. Some people wanted that. 4 out of 10 claimed. What do you get out of that? I think probably everything so far plus that. Your name in the book. Your name on a grave. Oh, that's cool. All right, so if you want to be immortalized in Monster MD, here's your opportunity. Still a couple left. I don't know how long this campaign has. I assume he's probably, since it's September, you might as well give it. I assume he's going to run through October. I mean, that's going to be like kind of a highlight of monster comics, right? I mean, for me, I'm ready to start jumping on these monster books. I already got this one, so back this one, I should say. Oh, 1 out of 5, 500. This one's pricey. See what we got here. I started sweating a little bit on that. Be a monster. Oh, so everything so far, it's including being drawn in the book. You become, well, I mean, that's including your name in the book, but you can also be a monster. I wonder if you get do you get a pick what monster? Because I'm a big Creature of Black Lagoon fan. It'd be kind of cool to get like one of those, like a fish version of myself, maybe. You're probably like, oh, you're a zombie. Like, okay, zombie it is. And that's it for the perks there. So let's go take a look at the art that you all probably looking at while I was looking over here. Monster MD cover. I really like that, man. The art really got me. I was quick to back in this one. Didn't take much. Has a very I don't know, man, like cartoon. Like I feel like I could just there's gonna be a I feel like there's gonna be a movie of this, you know? Like a TV version or something. Just I don't know if it's the colors or just the art's clean or what. It looks very ready to be animated. The doctor will see you now. So this I like a little Freddy reference right there. Some other ghouls, a little tentacle. That's my tentacle sound. Kind of a creature one, a mummy. So you can get that cover. I think that's still available, right? Was it still available to? If not, I apologize. But there's the other cover. Here he is doing his surgical stuff. I mean, he looks okay. I think he's going to pull through. He's just like, I thirst the flesh wound, Doc. I'm not gonna make it. He's probably like, well, no, he must still be alive, right? He's strapping him down in this panel. All right. Yep, he's gassing him up. Oh! Snap! Well, that happened. Vampire took a snip of his arm. Oh wait, is he already missing part? Okay. This is already after the one guy took his arm off. Boom! The uppercut him? Oh, okay, so we got a werewolf transformation happening. Got an anime face. Maybe it reminds me a little bit of anime. Not too much, it's just a hint of some anime. Heck yeah, he's about to whoop up on a werewolf. They put a nozzle. he's he's a professional. He saw this coming. He's like, and time to check your butthole for worms. I don't know. You know what the dogs usually go in for, right? They're always kind of sitting up there like, oh, this is nice. Oh, so what's going on, Doc? Whoa! Didn't see that coming. I don't know, people. I don't know. So I wonder, like, would somebody like try to blow up a werewolf? I mean, look, you got shot, and he gets taken here, and this doctor's taking the bullets out of him. I don't know. Can't wait to find out, though. Doom! Kick that door open. Oh, enters the assistant. That's pretty cool. Do we see her lungs because she's smoking? Like that's just the smoke we're seeing? It's kind of cool. Very smart. Very smart. I like that. Though I'd hate to see when she's eating. That'd be gross. That'd be gross. Okay. Pretty cool. It gave me like a Ghostbusters vibe there. Like they got a call or something. Like something happened. They're like, I almost imagine that. But maybe that's just a small nod to Ghostbusters. Maybe he took a piece of that and made it his own. They have like their own little warning thing. It's a rad church or a got some graves. So maybe that's a not a let's say a church. Doom. I can't tell exactly what this guy is. It kind of looks kind of like reptile-ish. Hmm. Always like mud or something. Kind of reminds me of Clayface a little bit from Batman. Always liked Clayface. He never got into the movies, but they're never gonna stop making the movies. So sooner or later we'll get a Clayface, I'm sure. All right, stabbing him in the eye. Man, what is this thing? The poop jar. Did you remember your breath mask? Oh, for I guess when you open it, maybe you don't want to smell the poop in the poop jar. That's from the werewolf. See, I told you I was onto something there. You're like, what are you bringing that up for? Worms and stuff. Well, see, it's in the poop jar. You collect werewolf poop. Test it for worms and infections. What is she dumping it in? She gonna inject this guy with poop? Something happened there. Mm-hmm. I like this page. I even use it in the intro because it is cool. Because I'm like, what is going on here? You get this zombie girl or something? Like, just. It's very cool. Mm-hmm. All right. What's this? Official. Oh, okay. This is part of the sketchbook. So if you back the sketchbook, here's some of the pages in the sketchbook. Kind of like the making of the characters and stuff. Pretty cool. Oh man. Yeah, it's like the van's kind of like a what do you call? What is it? Ecto One, right? Is that what it's called? Ecto One. It's been a while since I've watched Ghostbusters. So you got the Ecto mixed with the Turtle Van almost from TMNT, kind of thing going on. Because it has like the harpoon gun and the sirens and just it got a rammer. Para generator, so maybe that's like for paranormal stuff. Like maybe it sequence for it. Floods and sonic transmitter. Rust. Obviously, this is the design. Like, how do we want this thing to look? That's the poster. Very cool. Very cool. Man, looking at this, I'm about down for an Invisible Woman movie. Pretty cool. Oh, see, he must have helped that werewolf out, and then that werewolf's like, we're good now. Let's go kill some stuff. Let's go get that guy that took your arm. Don't know who she is. There's your team. I think what Graveyard Shift 3's in the works, right? I haven't followed up on the Graveyard Shift yet. I believe that third one's where you can go for it now, because I think that's what my business partner is supposed to be on. Is the third one. JB, Joe Ball, right? The Malin book, right? John Malin. Is that Graveyard Shift? So many books to remember. Creators and what they're on and who's doing what kind of melts sometimes in my brain. Look at what's been unlocked so far. Alright. Kinds of stuff. We get, looks like for the $25 tier, which is just your normal. We're getting all kinds, looks like some cards of some sort, some pens. Don't know, the crossover comic. Is the crossover comic coming with it? Like that's actually in the. And you get my bonus backstory. So we got some cool stuff unlocked. It's Carol. Oh yeah, I guess it's going to probably show. Okay, the pins or the buttons, a patch. Full color version of the official unlocked. I assume I don't know how that works with that. What you get? No cliffhanger here. Cliffhanger. No cliffhanger here. So this looks like it'll be, for now, like a one-shot story. Which is cool. I'm kind of glad, I like all these books, but it would be nice once in a while just to have that beginning to end kind of story. Hope that there's going to be a second book, because some of these guys, you don't know. You might get a second book, you might not. So to have a complete, from one end to the other, beginning to the end, is nice to know. Because you can always do more after that, unless you blow your character up or something. Then no. I guess. Then no, you can't. Alright. So that is Monster MD. I backed it. I highly recommend backing it because it looks like it's going to be a fun book. 111 pages. I mean, it looks like a lot of cool stuff for the $25 tier. Yeah. So, I guess we're going to come to the moment, or the part of the episode, where I tell a ghost story. Some of these will be just my own personal experiences. Later on, I'll probably look up some videos or something. Or if you guys have a cool ghost story and you want to tell it to me, just DM me and put it on an episode. So here's my ghost story. Now this one, I was probably about 7th grade. So I wasn't too young. I was just that little teeny bop stage. And Halloween night, I can't remember what I dressed as, but my buddy Dusty, he had this really cool Mortal Kombat Cyrax outfit that he made himself. He looked like an old football helmet, and added stuff to it to give the tubing and stuff to look like Cyrax from Mortal Kombat. Painted it up. I think it was Cyrax. I think it was the yellow one he was going for. But anyways, now shortly before all this, my grandpa had passed. So he was at my grandparents' house getting ready to go trick or treating. And we had this whole plan that we was going to go to this old abandoned house in town. You know, we're getting at that age. We're like, we'll trick or treat for like an hour, then go do something stupid. You know, this is before you feared like crackheads and homeless people and children abductors. Very real in today's society. But, you know, seventh grade, it was just an adventure. So we're getting ready to go, and we're close. We was in the living room, and for the living room, there's a hallway, and the hallway is my grandparents' room, and my grandpa had this old rocking chair. All of a sudden, that thing just started back and forth, back and forth. It got a little bit faster, you know. I just kind of turned, and I see it. I was like, Dusty, Dusty, look, huh? He's like, and the thing just sat there, and then finally just stopped. Now, I took that as I'm not going to go into spooky houses tonight. Maybe it was a warning. Maybe old Grandpapa was saying, don't think about it, guys. Bad things can happen. So we decided we were just going to go trick-or-treating that night, and that's it. But, so yeah, that was one of the, kind of like a ghost moment for me. I had a lot of them back in my old house. Like, it was like haunted as hell. Like, so many creepy things when I was a littler wee lad. Not so much as I got older. I had stuff here and there. I even had a recent one as a friend who passed. And I guess I'll share too. Why not? I had a friend, Rick, just pass. And, you know, kind of going through the grieving stage and stuff. And, I mean, this was only a couple weeks ago. Well, as we're all waiting to hear more about, like, the details of what they're, you know, going to do with him, you know, from burial and all that stuff, my girlfriend was over with her kid. And she has this little tablet. A little kid's tablet, you know, you hit, like, hey, it's for Apple, ha, 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 kind of stuff, right? So it has all the letters. Well, she sat down and the thing got stuck on R. It kept saying R, R. R is for rabbit. Rabbit. R, 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 R. And it kept saying R, 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 R. And it was driving me insane. I'm like, what the hell's up with this thing? You know? And so I'm trying to push all different. I turn it off, turn it back on, it'd still be stuck on the R. I'm like, man. And it hit me. R for Richard. You know, I mean, it just clicked in my head. I'm like, you know, one of my friends, Richard, just passed. And I'm like, this is creepy. And it's the only room where I have a picture of him. And so I thought, you know, what's the odds? You know, I'm still one of those people, like, I try not to think too much into it, but I mean, this is where my brain went. Like, automatically was like, oh, Richard just passed, like, that Friday, you know, so it was only a couple days after. And fast forward, my buddy Bart, Rick liked playing Magic. Well, Bart, me and him both worked thirds. He awoke early that same night to his Magic deck falling over, and his keyboard and his mouse for his computer was all lit up. He's one of those computer guys, so he's like, you know, expensive stuff. But his computer was off. The computer was still off, but all the stuff lit up. And the Magic cards were spilled out everywhere. You know, and he's freaking out. Like, dude, something happened to me. To add it on, we also find out the next day that the day all this stuff was happening, Rick was cremated. That's some crazy ghost stuff. I was like, oh my god. You know, it's just small things like you get those hints from like the great beyond. You know, no matter what your beliefs are, or it all could be coincidence. You know, but it's still just it makes for great stories at least. I was like, man, I love that stuff though. You know, but I grew up with a haunted house. You know. So that stuff's always kind of intrigued me. And I mean, what's happened to you? You're kind of like, but I got a bunch more. Again, if you guys have any stories, any good ghost stories, feel free to DM me, and you know, I'll put them on the show for the two people who's watching, who's like, oh, That's kind of scary. All right. Until next episode, this is Comics of Horror. I'm Shane Mess, and I'll catch you on the next episode.